Hey everyone's Classic DM, and we're going to continue our conversation today about combat stuff. Today, help, area, and emanate. So as you remember last time, we're at the bottom of the glacial rifts of the frost giant, and we had this fictitious scenario set up, and we blew up the middle of the room, right? So then what happens? Well, obviously all hell breaks loose, so we get ourselves into serious trouble quite quickly, right? So in this episode, we're going to talk about emanation, which is part of the area rules that are in Pathfinder Second Edition. If you want to follow along, it's in the rule book, page 456 or so. And I got those rules up as well. So last time, we did a 20-foot radius nuke fireball in this area here. Some of the guys died, yeah, whatever. So, and we talked about 30-foot radius and things like that. Now today, as everyone comes rushing in and closing the gap, our barbarian rushes forward. We start slaughtering some of the orcs. We got some frost giants encroaching on us, and our party's kind of starting to fan out and maybe figure out how to isolate single targets at a time and take them out. So we got our monk and our rogue and our barbarian over here taking on this frost giant. The frost giant's focused on the barbarian. We have a druid in the back thinking about doing something to help. Got another warrior over here with a glaive taking on a frost giant one-on-one. Our cleric is here, and our caster who started the whole S-storm in the first place is in the back going, oh no, I'm going to use a run action, right? So what are we talking about specifically? Well, what we're talking about specifically is emanation. And emanation is basically another template you need to think about. Before we talked about the template for the fireball, the 20-foot radius, and we talked about what it'd be like if it was a 30-foot radius and how to judge who is inside of what radius when you're doing it on the game and where to center the radius. Now we need to pay close attention to how emanation works, because emanation uses a different way of centering the template than one of the area effect type things like the cone type, the area effect type spells. So let's just take a look at that. Let's go up to the previous page, and you can see on the left hand side up here where emanate is. We have a 5 foot, 5 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot. Now the burst, that was a word that was escaping me. The burst has a center point, which is a crossroads of your two grids. Emanate centers around the character itself. So it doesn't seem to be too confusing, does it? I mean, pretty straightforward. Now, there's not a lot of spells that I know of so far. There may be ones later on where emanate is super duper important, but it's going to make it's going to be critical for you when you decide to do spells. Like, let's say you're a cleric, right? You say you're playing Kira, right? Or whatever her name is, Kira. You think it was Kira, it'd be with an I. She got a bless spell, right? And I think after you cast bless the first round, maybe the second round, you can increase this radius by 5 feet. It's something along those lines. I remember reading over about the concentration bonus here. Where is her spell here? Is the back, bless, detect magic? Here we go. So I don't have a thing on the right for it. We'll just read it to you, right? It's a somatic and verbal, so she does incantations and says something. It takes her 2 actions to do it. When you cast a spell, you and all your allies within a 5-foot emanation radius, it's saying it, gain a +1 status bonus to attack rolls. So it's not giving you armor class bonus or any other kind of stuff. It's not helping with saving throws. It's just an attack roll boost. So if you're having trouble hitting something, like this frost giant guy down here, it's going to come in handy when someone needs that extra 1% chance to hit. Not 1%, but one more number on the d20. And we got, AC bonuses and things like that from raise shield and shield block and that kind of stuff happening as well. 1 extra bonus to hit and 2 AC might make a big difference when you're having a nasty battle. Now, frost giants in 2E are nasty. They have like 150 hit points. They have all kinds of stuff about them that's pretty brutal. They have all kinds of cool abilities. They have a wild swing. In fact, we'll just pull it out real quickly here. Just give you a quick little peek ahead of time. You got to get your bestiary ordered if you haven't done it yet, or get the PDF version. So the frost giants, which are like on page, 171, one of my all-time favorite enemies because I love the Against the Giants campaign. But they can obviously throw rocks, they melee, they have a chill breath attack they can do, which is like a cone, a 15-foot cone. That'll be a good conversation for our next area. They can do, they have an ice stride ability, means they can just run in the snow and don't get hurt. They have a wild swing, which is a multiple target within its reach swing, like a big heavy 2-handed swing. So they're nasty, right? But they don't have attack of opportunity. And that's something very interesting when you have a tactical situation like this. Not all the monsters in the game have attack of opportunity. So it's not this general rule of you run past someone in combat, do they have enough fighter skill to avoid or turn and attack you? Do they have enough savvy to shift their balance and go wham and hit you as you're going by? In this situation, the lower level giants like the hill giants and the frost giants, they don't have this, but the fire giants do. So in this little blow up scenario right here, say this is their cleric right here. Say the cleric decides, I'm going to cast Bless. And the players at the table, and they're like staring at their character sheet, trying to figure out what to do. There's no reason to cast Guidance or Disrupt Undead or Dispel Magic. And they don't really want to melee anything. They want to help in its early parts of the fight. And they know that Bless spell will last a pretty decent amount of time. And it emanates. So where do you think they should stand if they decided that, well, you should help this group over here, right? Barbarian, Monk, Rogue. Where are you going to stand? Now, if you stand and cast Bless right here, what's going to happen? So it's going to emanate around you. So it'll go 5 feet out this way, 5 feet out this way, and then, if I'm not mistaken, it will basically just be a complete square offset 5 feet around you. So this other fighter here, not warrior, who's fighting this frost giant, he'll get a bonus to his attack rolls, but no one else will, because you're too far away from everyone. Now the next round, if you can use, I think it's a concentrate mechanic where you can increase the radius another 5 feet. It still will, it'll just encompass the monk. So no one else is really going to get benefit if you stand where you are. So when you're playing a cleric, you're going to do an emanate spell using an emanation template. You need to think about, well, where should I move to maximize the effectiveness of this? Let's just erase this off here real quick. And we're going to pull up one of my cool WTF sketches so you can see what I think the answer would be in this situation. We're just going to put everyone kind of sort of randomly wherever they were. I think what you need to do is you need to go right here. Use a stride action. Go, 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. Stand right here. You aren't going to provoke an attack of opportunity on the frost giant. They can't even do it. He's turned facing the barbarian. The monk's doing whatever he can to ruin this guy. The rogue's flanking, right? That's just where he needs to be exactly. Yes, there's more baddies that are going to come. In the next round, this fire giant's going to get right here on top of you. But for now, get that bless off. And once it's there, maybe maintain it to the next round and get an even larger radius. And then maybe the other fighter will collapse and get inside of it. Well, you guys can cluster up and start defending and bring them all to you, because this big table here is a choke point. This sloping passageway up here is a choke point. This large table will probably end up getting flipped. Maybe the illusionist and the druid can whip around over here, and you can have your backs against the wall, or maybe keep the escape route to go up this way. This type of tactical thinking, you got to plan ahead. It's like playing chess. You just, well, I'm going to use my rook and just move it here. So let's look at one of our WTF sketches, and then we'll wrap up the conversation today. We'll keep these super fast. So where's our table camera? Let's turn that off. And I'm going to move these kids over here. And just slide this out of the way. And we got another one of these cool sketches, right? Yeehaw. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's not funny, it's not worth doing. So, in the center we have our amazing, heroic, absolutely gotta have it party cleric, right? Maybe it's this girl. She's got enough clothing on to keep herself quite warm in the middle of a Christmas market in Germany, right? So this Kira girl, who's got way too much clothes on, but she looks really cool, stands in the middle of the room and goes, yeah, I'm going to cast bless, wee. So emanate works like this, right? So offset, 5 feet offset, means a 15-foot by 15-foot volume, X and Y axis, is going to be affected, including herself. So it creates kind of like a cylinder that's going up into the sky. Actually just creates a huge rectangle that goes up. Now, they don't ever talk about the Z-axis in the Pathfinder, because most of the game's on a two-dimensional plane. It's not like a war game where you're having to check the slopes of the hills and measuring directly. Like in a lot of war games, you'll have someone on the higher ground. It makes a big difference. You're measuring the diagonal, right? We don't do that really that much here. There are some rules about it, but not a lot. So guess who doesn't get affected, right? The dumb Gobbo Rogue is not being affected by it because he's just outside of this. So he's got, he's got the pea stain condition on him right here because he's screwed, and the big dragon arrow, the nasty, is going to come get him. So bad positioning call. So we're going to run and pull up. Consider whether this person's going to move in and out of it when you cast a bless. It'll be the next round before, if the Gobbo doesn't run and flee in terror, that this thing is going to expand in radius. So you can also take in consideration planning ahead. You can say like, dude, man, collapse on me and fight next to me. But do you want this dragon to breath weapon you? So there's all kinds of tactical stuff that's happening. It's a game of inches. It's a game of 5 feet inches. So think about that kind of stuff when you're tactically figuring out what to do with your emanation-oriented type spells. Because if you make a wrong decision and you put something in the wrong place and you take for granted and you think to yourself, hey, this is just like in AD&D. We just have to, all we got to do is really, I cast bless 15-foot radius and it saves everyone's lives. Well, maybe it doesn't save everyone's lives because you don't really have affected anyone. So you got your monk over here, and your rogue was flanking. They're about like this. There's a good spot to be, in my opinion. Now, guys that are smarter than this game than me, you tell me what you think. So overall, where was our other warrior? He was off-tanking this guy. So overall, thinking about that, where is that bless going to happen? You're going to be able to catch the first two, the weaker armored melee people in your party first. So they're going to get, as soon as you cast a bless, The monk and the rogue are going to get that +1 hit. That's going to help them, especially with him flanking and her coming from the side doing stuff. The barbarian's probably going to be fine. If the barbarian gets in trouble, the druid can come help out. The wizard / sorcerer, not an illusionist anymore, can do whatever they need to do to crowd control this group over here. To the second round, if you want to concentrate the bless spell, you can expand its radius by another 5 feet, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I'm not a pro in the spells yet, I'm still learning it. But you're planning ahead, so your barbarian will end up getting affected by it in the following turn or round. All right, cool. That's it for today. Hope you had fun watching this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, let me know. And we're going to keep going through these types of minuscule type rules and try to apply them to actual situations and prompt conversation about it. Have fun. See ya.